Hi everybody and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to make a recipe that was given to me by Bryson Hatfield. He's a 24-year-old boy that bakes all the time, and this particular recipe he called sweet potato pudding. But I don't really think it's a pudding. Over here, I don't know if you can see it or not. Right there are some grated. Sorry about that, guys. That was my dog. He's always get over here, Bogey, come out of there. He's always around when I'm cooking, and you'll probably hear him from time to time in the background. Ruh, ruh, ruh. And he wants some. He's spoiled rotten, little Maltese. Anyway. That was grated sweet potatoes that I showed you in the 9x13 casserole dish, and I guess depending on the size, he said 3 to 5 sweet potatoes. Mine were not that big, they were about like that, so I did 5, but that casserole dish is over half full. But there's a lot of ingredients in this recipe, so I went ahead and added some of them. And I'm going to tell you what I've put in the bowl so far. Well, I grated up the sweet potatoes in my food processor and laid them out in a greased 9x13. And now in this mixing bowl, I've got a cup of light brown sugar firmly packed, 2/3 a cup of regular sugar, 4 eggs beaten, so I put those in first and beat them up. Here's a half a stick of melted butter that I didn't put in, but I will put it in now. Half a stick of melted butter. You want to get all that butter. I love butter. Alright. Excuse me. Got a little bit of a cold. Half a stick of melted butter. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons of rum extract, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and I ground it myself. Alright, that's what's in here. I'm going to mix this up. When it gets mixed, we'll be back. When it gets mixed, we'll be back. That didn't take very long. Now I've got 2/3 of a cup of self-rising flour in this bowl. Now Bryson actually said to add those dry spices in with the flour, but I felt like they would get mixed better with the liquids, so I put them in with the other stuff. So got 2/3 of a cup of self-rising flour, and I have 1 large can of evaporated milk. Now the flour is going in, not all of it. Then I'm going to add some of this milk. And more flour. Ooh. And more milk. Be sure and shake your evaporated milk real well, because it settles. You know, it settles after you buy it. You need to get it mixed together. Alright. Now, I did that with the mixer on because I felt like it would mix better. I also want to mention that Bryson, now he's not kidding around when he bakes. He entered a state contest, won a blue ribbon for this recipe, and also an honorable mention in the state magazine, and I think that's just wonderful. Now in this little bowl, I've got a cup of raisins, a cup of coconut, and a cup of chopped nuts. And he says to, let's get this off. He says to stir these in. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pour them in, pour all of it in, and I'm just going to stir it. Preheat your oven and preheat it while you're doing all this. 325 degrees is when your little oven buzzer goes off telling you that it's come to temperature. You let it stay. You don't put anything in it for at least 10 minutes because it's really not up to temperature. Alright, and this is soupy, as you can see. It's very thin batter. And it doesn't take much to get that mixed in, as you can see. Alright, now I've got my 9x13 pan here. And all you do is pour this mixture, this wet mixture, over the ingredients. Alright, so I'm going to take this beaten mixture, and I'm going to have to do it left-handed. We're pouring it over this raw sweet potatoes that I ground up in the food processor. I washed them and peeled them, and they were not hard to peel when you use a peeler. You know, I think it's harder when you use a knife. Let's see here. Get all the liquid out because that's a lot of sweet potatoes. I probably could have just used 4, but they were so small I thought, well, I'll go ahead and add these. So anyway, this has got to be a wonderful, wonderful recipe for him to have gotten recognition from his state, and I believe he's from North Carolina. And he has given me other recipes. I've done, I think, 1 or 2 of them. I always tell you when it's from Bryson. But I thought I was talking to, because you never know who you're talking to. I thought that I was talking to an older man, because the picture that he uses is of an older person. Well, then I found out that he is interested in genealogy, so it's not him at all. But anyway, he's about to open his own channel, because I said, Bryson, you've got so many wonderful recipes. You need to be making these yourself, not giving them to me. So anyway, he decided to do that, and I'm glad he did. Alright, I've got all this on here about as good as I want to get it. I do see there's more raisins in some spot than there are in others. Now all you do now is you put it in your 325 degree oven that you are sure that it's 325 degrees, and you're going to bake it for 1 hour. And then we'll be back to see what it looks like and tastes like. Welcome back. I don't know if it's because I used so many sweet potatoes or exactly what the reason was, but I took this out at 1 hour and it wasn't done. The top didn't even have any color on it, so I put it back in the oven and I baked it a total time of 1.5 hours, 90 minutes. So now we're going to let Sam taste part of this. It certainly does hold together. It's definitely not a pudding. Sorry, Bryson, I just don't believe it's a pudding here. Let me see. Let's get this little piece out here. Oh. Can you all see that? Let me turn it around. That looks wonderful. Let me zoom in for you. That looks great. All right, I'm going to set this on a plate, and we're going to let Sam give it a taste here and give us his expert opinion. Here you go, Sammy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gracious. This is delicious.
Now, is it like a pudding, or is it like a souffle, sweet potato casserole? What are you?
Similar to a souffle, but just have a good mixture of flavors. The texture's great.
Are the sweet potatoes done after an hour and a half?
Yes, they are.
So they're tender.
I think I detect a little rum in here.
Yes, you do. Does it make you feel like you're in Puerto Rico at the Bacardi rum factory?
All kidding aside, this is delicious. It would grace anybody's Thanksgiving dinner. This is extremely good.
Okay, guys, you use your own judgment as to how long you bake yours. I'm just telling you that I used 5 grated sweet potatoes and it took this an hour and a half, and I think it's perfect. It doesn't taste overcooked, does it, Sam?
No, but it could maybe 5-10 minutes less, possibly.
You think so?
Well, but
what are you basing that
I
on?
don't know, but it's delicious. I'm getting disoriented here. And you got to be careful eating this. It could make you want to slap your mama. It's delicious. No.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming in today and spending a little part of your day with me. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, you all take care.